Hi there, let's have a lesson about daar. When do you use daar in Dutch? Well, let's start with an example here. Daar kijk ik niet naar. What does it mean? Well, there I watch not to. Oh, that sounds a little weird, right? There watch I not to. How do you translate that? Well, that's what we're going to see in this video, and we're going to see the three uses of daar. First of all, the main use of daar is there, as you might already know, because it's the most simple one. For example, ze werkt daar. She works there. However, this is a bit different from English. If you say ze werkt hier, she works here, you're saying she's not working there. And what do I mean by that? When you're saying daar, you're pointing at some other direction. And that's the difference between ze werkt daar and ze werkt When you're saying ze werkt daar, you're more pointing at something, like over there. If you say ze werkt she works there, it doesn't really mean you're not really pointing, you're saying something more general. It's a bit the same as the difference between dat and de, that and die. And this difference also exists for daar and in Dutch, even though in English it's not as clear as in Dutch. There are different ways. So, what's the second use of daar? Well, we're going to paste a little preposition after daar. And you might have already seen daarna, daarom, or daarvoor, or daarnaast. Let's take an example here. Eerst drink ik, daarna eet ik. First I drink, afterwards, or after drinking, I eat. And the daarna here literally means after that. And it has nothing to do with the previous explanation about there. It's after that. And that's the first I drink. So after that, after drinking, you would say in English, I eat. But in Dutch, we would say daarna. There's also a more complicated way to say after drinking, but we're going to focus on the daar here. So daarna is after that. First, blah, blah, blah. After that, daarna. Daarom, for example, ik heb honger. En daarom eet ik. Daarom eet ik. And daarom is that is why. You see here the daar. You think there? No. It means that with a preposition. Daarom. That is why. That is the reason why. And it indicates a purpose. So daar plus that is the purpose of. For example, ik heb honger, daarom eet ik. I'm hungry, that is why I eat. For that purpose I eat. Alright, another one is daarnaast. Daarnaast wil ik ook dat zien. Except to that, I would also like to see that. And daarnaast, you could say next to that or furthermore. Literally, it's next to that. But again, it has nothing to do with there. And this is a little bit tricky because daar, well, it means there. But if you add a little preposition there, it ceases to mean there. Which brings us to the third way to use daar, the third main way to use daar. And that is very similar to the second way, but it's with a verb. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's take an example. Daarop wacht ik. That's what I'm waiting for. And you're like, wait, what? There is no daar there. Again, the daar means that. And voor, how is voor translated? Well, it's op. The fixed preposition with wachten is op. And for that, I am waiting, or that's what I'm waiting for. We're going to, if there's a preposition there with the verb, we're going to paste it to the that. And you would think, you could use dot then? Well, no, it's impossible. You have to use daar when you're adding a preposition on the dat, on the dot. Then it becomes daarop. So actually it means dot op, but in Dutch we don't say that. It's daarop. So you have to use daarop. Another example, daarvan hou ik. That's what I love. That's what I like. And here, to like or to love in English, it has no preposition, but it does in Dutch. Ik hou van iets. I love something. And the van is there, so you have to use van with a preposition. You have to use van, the preposition, with that, so it becomes daarvan. Another one. Daarmee eet ik. That's what I'm eating with. Alright, so daarmee eet ik. And you see that the met, usually with is met, but if you paste it to daar, it becomes mee. Daarmee eet ik. And if you're interested in mee, there's a little video you see up there about mee. But that's another video, so another example. Daarover praten we. That's what we're talking about. And again, in English you would put the about at the end, but in Dutch, no, you paste it to the dat and it becomes daarover. Last one, daarnaar kijk ik niet. I'm not watching that. Watching in English, no preposition, but in Dutch, it has a preposition, kijken naar. So, I'm not watching that. Oh, that turns into daar plus preposition. So, daarnaar kijk ik niet. And to end this video, it's a little tricky here. All these daars plus preposition, they can split up. And this is really confusing. For example, daar wacht ik op. Or daarop wacht ik. They have exactly the same meaning. That's what I'm waiting for. But you might think, that's good because that's what I'm waiting for. The for is at the end in English, so I could use it up there as well at the end. But then you shouldn't forget that the dat changes into a daar. Which brings us to the example of the first seconds of this video. If you remember, daar kijk ik niet naar. Can you guess what it means? Well, here it is. That's, I'm not watching that. And here it's split up. You could say daarnaar kijk ik niet, as we've seen just a few moments ago. But you split it up. Daar kijk ik niet naar. And then this last particle is at the end of the sentence. Another example, last example. Daar praten we over instead of daarover praten we. So remember 3 uses of daar. First, there, and it points at something. It's not Second, with a preposition, but don't mind the verb that's following. And these ones, so the second way to use daar, you can't split it up. Daarom is together. Daarna is together. But you can split it if you're using it in combination with a verb with a preposition. And then you can either paste them or use them separately. Alright, don't forget to subscribe and see you in another video.